Okay guys, welcome back to another video. We're going to get into this. I'm going to do all the talking at the end about why I chose each part, and that's really all I have to say. Let's get right into the video, and I'll see you in 5 minutes or so. Okay guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed that little montage there. First PC I ever built, and I'm only 13, so it was a lot of fun to make, and it lights up. All those pretty colors back there. As I said earlier, don't get mad at me in the comments for installing everything wrong because I didn't have the power supply yet. So yeah guys, it was just really fun overall, and I really want to build more PCs in the future. So anyway guys, without any more talking, I'm going to get into the parts I chose and why I chose them, because I think I probably put together the best, or one of the best builds that you can put together for like $1,000. So first I'm going to go with a case just to get this box out of the way a little, because it's huge and it's keeping me from sitting in the middle, which is kind of annoying me. Anyway, this is the H500i, and me, along with probably many other people, agree that it was the best case of 2018. I didn't really get into cases until like yesterday, but anyway, I definitely think it was the best, because for only $100 you get USB 3.0 ports, you get audio, and then a microphone jack right up here. That's just on the case, plus you got the stuff on the motherboard, whatever motherboard you chose too, which is really nice. As you can see, there's RGB lights inside, and just inside the case, which it's a smart case, so they can be controlled by the PC. With NZXT cam, I can view all my stats, like the temperature of my CPU and my graphics card, which is really nice, especially for a $1,000 PC. So obviously I didn't get the white on white version. Yeah, I got the black on red version. You can see it in there. I think this is just the box they use to ship all their products, because there's a black and red thing right there, sticker. It is a really nice case and was definitely worth $100. I mean, I think I got it on Black Friday and it was like $70 or something, which is even cheaper. Another thing that's really good is all the cable management raceways back in the back here, and then the cable hider right there. Anyway, moving on to the next part, I'm just going to put that down there. The next part I think I'm going to go with is the motherboard, because that is the first thing you're probably going to need when building a PC. Okay, so with the motherboard I went with the Gigabyte Z370P D3 motherboard. Basically, this is a Z370P socket, which will work with the i5-8600K, which I'll go over next. Intel chipset. Obviously, I'm not going to use a Ryzen chipset for an Intel board, because that wouldn't even work. Also, this is an ultra-durable motherboard, which I guess it'll last longer than any other motherboard they make. Even though I'm not using an M.2 SSD, it has an M.2 SSD compatibility, so I could put one in right now if I felt like it. But they're kind of really expensive because they're SSDs. So another thing that's extremely good about this is there is 6 USB ports, and 4 of them are USB 3.0. I still have 3 USB ports left, and one of them is still USB 3.0. If I did manage to find anything else on my desk that did need USB, I would still have 1 USB 3 port left. And then if I found 2 more things, I don't know how I would find 2 more things to use USB with, I could still use USB 2.0, which still gets the job done just fine. I mean, it's a great motherboard. There's a ton of connections and everything. Also, I could use 2 graphics cards, but I don't need 2 graphics cards. I mean, it was a little tricky to install, but that's okay because I got it installed anyway. 4 RAM slots. I don't need 8 RAM slots. I mean, I'm only using 2 gigs of 2 gigs. I'm only using 2 sticks of 16 gigabytes total, 2 sticks of 8 gigabytes. Alright, but yeah, this motherboard is just a solid choice overall. I think $110, which is a little bit pricey, but 4 USB 3.0 ports and 6 USB ports total is pretty enough for me. I mean, obviously the USB ports isn't the main reason I got it. Okay, next thing you're gonna need when building a PC is the CPU, obviously, because you need a CPU or else your PC is not going to get power. I mean, unless you plug it into the wall, but it's not going to work. So this is the i5-8600K LGA1151, which matches LGA1151. So obviously, it's going to be the right socket to fit in the motherboard, which is pretty important. So this is the 8600K. I was going to get the 9600K, but I watched some reviews, and I learned that most people think the 9600K is really no better. So I stuck with the 8600K. It saved some money. Also, it was like $225 on Black Friday, I'm pretty sure, down from $275, which is a pretty good deal, $50 off. So it made the build a lot cheaper overall. So I chose Intel over Ryzen because I watched some Intel versus Ryzen, and most of them said that Intel was better and performed better than Ryzen. So I was getting Ryzen originally, but I was like, you know, I can spend a little bit extra money and get the 8600K, so that's what I did, and I think it was a pretty good choice. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about the i5 8600K. Whoops. Next, you're going to need a cooler for your CPU. Now, this does not come with a cooler inside, and if it did, I wouldn't have used it anyway, because it kind of would have insulted my build, because it looks pretty bad. So I decided to go with a black and red cooler. Why am I opening it? There's nothing in there. I decided to go with a black and red cooler, because as you can probably see, my build and my setup is pretty much black and red. So I went ahead and got this, especially since it was black and red. There are other colors if you're looking into one. But yeah, the one thing that was not good was it didn't really tell me how to install it, so I just had to watch a YouTube video on it, which it was pretty easy after that. Anyway, next part. Let's go with the graphics card. So, this is the GeForce GTX 1060. This, I think, was a great choice overall. I mean, graphics cards are really expensive. I definitely couldn't afford a 1070. It would have made it look a little better, but I definitely couldn't afford that. But yeah, this is the 6GB version. I thought it was probably worth it to pay a little bit more for double the gigabytes of DDR5. I went with Asus over MSI or EVGA because it was just a little cheaper. The only thing is it's white and the rest of my build is red. I mean, my tables are white, which kind of throws the entire color scheme off, but I probably should have gone with the MSI so that it could be black and red, because the MSI graphics cards are always usually black and red, sometimes RGB with black and red, which would have been nice. Fortnite looks pretty good. All epic settings, everything. Yeah, the HDMI is plugged into this because I learned you get a lot better performance and it looks a lot better. You can get the best graphics possible if you plug the HDMI into the graphics card. Just a tip for future builders. It looks pretty good though. Maybe I'll spray paint it black and red one day. One thing I forgot to say, all these parts will be linked in the description in case you guys are wondering and want to buy it yourself or build it or check out some of the parts, maybe the H500i or the motherboard or the 8600K or the graphics card or anything on this desk. If you guys just want to go check those out, then feel free to do that. Links will be in the description for all the parts, which will take a long time, but I'll do it. Next, I think I kind of skipped this, but it's the RAM. There's nothing in here right now because it's in my PC. Anyway, this was kind of a steal because on Black Friday, these things only cost $110, I think, on Newegg, which was extremely good because they were originally like, maybe, I'm just going to say they were probably 140 or 150. The other RAM I was looking at, they were only 2400 megahertz speed. This is 3000 megahertz speed, and those, for 16 gigs of 2400 megahertz, it was like 150, I think I saw like 160, 155. So I decided when I saw this, especially since I got the black version and there was RGB, and I knew that there was RGB in the case, so it wouldn't throw it off too much. That is why I chose this RAM. Fast RAM, more RAM. It was only like $35 more than the 8 gigs that I was originally going to get. It's good RAM, and it definitely works. Next, I'm going to go with the SSD. I'm going to go with the power supply last, probably. Anyway, just to let you know, I did get a hard drive. It's over there, but the packaging is just like big air bubbles around it. It didn't come with a Seagate logo on it or anything, because I got a Seagate Barracuda 2TB hard drive. I'm just gonna talk about it now. 2 terabytes, it was like $10 more than 1 terabyte, so I definitely got the 2 terabytes because it was a much better value, plus I'd have double the space. Yeah, next is the SSD. I could have gotten 8 more gigabytes of SSD for around the same price, but I decided we had already ordered this one, so I didn't really care, especially since the SSD goes in the back of the case. You can't even see it in the front. I decided that this was fine. I didn't really care too much. And that's basically just to download Windows on, so Windows will boot up a whole lot faster. Anyway, do you think I can do these last items in a minute? No, probably not. I'm gonna go stop the camera. Stop the camera. Okay, also my camera's about to die, so I'm gonna do this quick too. So, these are the cable sleeves I use. This is the box. It has nothing on it, but I'll link those in the description as well if you guys want to check them out. These are really nice because, as I said earlier, and as you can probably see, the build is black and red and a little bit of RGB. Fortunately, cables don't have RGB on them, so black and red was the best I can do. I picked up these black and red ones. These look the best for the price. Also, there's a ton of them for more graphics cards and whatnot. Alright, so yeah, it just makes it look a lot cleaner. As you can see, there's some attached to the motherboard, there's some you can't see powering the CPU, and then there's some on the graphics card. Only if that graphics card was black and red, it'd look a lot better. So anyway, that's why I got those. They're just cable extenders, that's all. Okay, last, This is also the last thing that arrived. We built Tuesday, as I said, it arrived Friday. So I built everything pretty much out of order. So don't get mad at me in the comments, that's like the third time I've said that. Yeah, this is the EVGA 500 watt BQ bronze certified 80 plus bronze certified power supply, which looks a lot better than the regular 500 watt power supply from EVGA, because the cables on the 500 watt, the regular 500 watt, are all different kinds of colors. It would look really bad. I mean, I know I'm using cable extenders, but it would look bad. So anyway, I decided to get this because it performs a little better. Also, this one is semi-modular. The regular 500 watt is not semi-modular. It's not modular at all. Basically what modular means is if the power supply is fully modular, then all the cables come with it and you plug all the ones you need in. So if there's cables that you don't need, you don't have to plug them in. A power supply that's not modular is going to come with all the cables attached to it, which isn't good, because if you're not using some of the cables, it's pointless, because then you just have random cables that are plugged into nothing, which is not a smart idea. I wouldn't mind if I got a semi-modular over a modular power supply. Basically, the only cables that come attached is the big 24 pin that attaches to the motherboard and the CPU, and obviously you need both those, so there's not going to be any loose cables just hanging around anywhere. The rest, if you need them, if you're using them, just plug them into the power supply. As you can see there, comes with 4 plugs to plug in, some SATA plugs, and then your graphics card plug. That's why I picked up the 500 watt BQ 80 plus bronze power supply. Anyway, finally done going over all the parts. This, I actually have to say, was probably my funnest video to make, especially because I'm kind of getting into PCs now, and I just built one. That was super fun. So anyway, guys, definitely, I really hope to build more PCs in the future, and then maybe I could sell one. Or if you guys want me to build a PC for you, if you're looking into getting one, I can definitely build it for you if you pay for it. I'm not going to buy it for you, unless it was a giveaway or something. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and hit the bell so you can watch each one of my uploads the second I upload them. Comment first, like a ton of people do. I get like 3 first comments every video, and fortunately only one of them can be first. First comment of this video will get a shout out next video if I remember. If I don't, you'll get a shout out eventually. I can promise you'll get a shout out eventually. More videos coming soon. I have a setup improvement, another setup improvement, although this time it's actually pretty much an improvement. And then I have a Christmas unboxing, which I will also do. Just like last year, one of the most popular videos on my channel. I think it's the 3rd most popular. But without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.